what do we have behind you?
This is a 63 Oldsmobile Jetfire. It's the first ever turbocharged manufactured vehicle.
Hey guys, I'm Kendra Sommer, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss any of the automotive content that we post weekly.
They were water methanol injected because they were high compression engines with around 6.5 pounds of boost. So it was too high to run on just pump gas. So they fluid called turbo rocket fluid that would be injected into the intake air when it would boost to cool the intake air. That way they wouldn't burn the motors up. Yeah, your turbo rocket fluid would go in your tank here, and boost pressure will pressurize the tank. And there's a valve inside here that will sense the boost pressure, which will allow the fluid to inject into the throttle body down inside here. And they were 10 1/4 to 1 compression. It's called turbo rocket fluid. But
so Oldsmobile was the first one. That's really innovative.
Yeah, they were the first, but actually barely. The Chevy Corvair came out a turbo the same year, but Oldsmobile come out like 2 weeks before the Corvair did. As far as release to the public to be able to buy, it was like 2 weeks earlier. So it's like these and the Corvair are really the same year, first coming out with turbos.
It seems like Oldsmobile has a lot of innovation that doesn't really get people don't really know about that.
Yeah, well, there's sometimes some jokes go around that Oldsmobile was the test bed for Cadillac. And if it worked out really great on Oldsmobile, then they would try it on everything else. And I always want to believe that Oldsmobile had better engineers. They let them figure it out first, and if they could make it work, then they could go from there on the other manufacturers. This is a particular one that didn't make it beyond 2 years. They did have issues with the system that through modern processes, we've kind of got them to where they'll last pretty well now once you rebuild the system.
It's the same engine technically, right?
Yeah, this is just an extra one that I've got laying around.
Nice. We'll get some shots of that. Now just tell me, where did you find this?
Well, this one found me more than I found it. I post a lot of stuff about Jetfires on the internet, and the owner of the car, the original owner actually, his son, then he was Googling Oldsmobile Jetfire, and he come across me and another guy by the name of Jim Knoll and contacted us to see if we'd be interested in the car. And then once I found it was a factory 4-speed car, then I was definitely interested in it. So basically I ended up driving to Waterloo, Iowa to buy the car and drug it home, and now I've done some work to it and got it running and driving again.
Nice. And the only modifications that you've made so far were just brushing off the dust. Can you tell me that story?
Yeah, I'm really allergic to barn dust, and I wanted to bring it exactly as I found it because it was way dirtier than what it is now. And but I had to run a little bit of water over it to get the real thick stuff off. So while I was working on it, I was coughing and everything. My allergy was just killing me, so I had to rinse a little bit of the dust off. But
and you and your wife have 4?
Yeah, we've got 4 total. One of them's a parts car, and now I've got a 62 4-speed car and then another 62 automatic car. That one's my wife's car, and it's original paint, rust-free car.
And why Oldsmobile?
Kind of a long story, but basically I was 13 years old, and my dad was driving down the road, said, "Hey, there's a 442 W30 sitting by that barn," and I didn't know what that was. So he said, "We're going to look at that on our way home," and when we stopped to look at it, and we knocked on the barn door, it was a real nice pole barn, and inside there was a completely restored 7442 W30. And then whenever I got around to the front of the car, I seen them hood scoops, and I was 13 years old and just fell in love with them hood scoops, and ever since I've been Oldsmobile ever since. So that was in '87, and here it is, 2018. It's tunnel vision. Oldsmobile's really all I know.
That's awesome.
All right, cruisers, I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.